And the Coach's Corner Show on this Thursday, brought to you by the B.B. Comer Athletic Association and Booster Club. And Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer, joins us this morning. Coach, it's playoff time down south, and it all kicks off tonight. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we get rolling tonight, and looking forward to it. Looking forward to a big crowd, and a little bit of rain rolling through right now, but I think it'll be out of here in time for kickoff.
All right, let's talk about the opponent, the GW Long Rebels, and I've seen stuff about them for several years. They're always a good football team, and they bring a good football team. It's actually rated higher than B.B. Comer in Class 2A, the rankings.
Yeah, they're a good team. They were in a three-way tie for their region title, so they're 8-1. I think the other teams finished 9-1. So they beat Elba, but Ayrton beat them, and it got down to like tiebreaker in and things like that. But they're a solid team. They do a lot of good stuff offensively. They're going to try and spread you out, and they're going to run. They're going to try and get to the edge. Quarterback's pretty solid. Number 2, he does a good job leading the offense. 6 is fast. He's a pretty shifty kid. He's also physical when he needs to be. He'll lower his shoulder and run into you instead of trying to run around you. So that's going to present some issues that we're going to have to take care of early. Defensively, they've got a couple of big guys on the interior that play pretty hard. They got a couple of linebackers, outside guys that play hard, and they're not. They're not overly huge, but man, they got a motor and they get after it. So,
do they compare defensively to somebody that you played this year?
You know, we've been trying to figure that out, who we could compare them to, and the biggest comparison, I guess, would probably be like a Ranburn, just as far as what they do and things like that. But very, very talented group, and for us to be successful, we're going to have to play well, play mistake-free.
How long has it been? I know we were slated to play a first-round game last year, and an opponent from the Mobile area forfeited due to COVID. How long has it been since we've physically hosted a game?
I looked for it the other day and didn't find it, but from what I'm being told, it was either 2000 or 2001 was the last time that Comer hosted a first-round game. So. You're talking over right at 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. It's an exciting time for our guys. An exciting time for Tiger Nation and for all our fans, and for us to be able to go out and perform and put on a good production tonight would be huge for our.
Talk about families. Practice this week and in preparation for GW Long. Practice been good, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good practices. Because of the short week, we had the guys come in on Sunday, and we had a little Sunday practice for about an hour and a half, and that was probably one of the best practices we've had all year, and that kind of led into the week, and we've had time to prepare and get ready for what they do and see what they do. So it's I'm getting older, and I get the kids don't think my sayings are cool anymore, but the hay is in the barn. So the hay is in the barn, and now we go through the day and get ready for kickoff.
How has B.B. Comer progressed to this point, to hosting this first round game against the Rebels tonight?
Obviously, if you look at the total body of work over the past 4 years. Been steps made to continue to get better. If you just look at this year's body of work, the big progression has been other guys stepping up and creating a little bit of depth where we're able to rotate some guys in and out on both sides of the ball. The other thing is something that we talked about yesterday before practice is the selflessness. The guys aren't worried about who gets what. As far as stats go, as far as accolades go, and things like that, it's about, hey, we just want to score more points than the other team. We don't care how we get to those points, but we want to score more points than the other team. And that selflessness has really that's probably one of the biggest things that we've had. On the field, the progression of our quarterback, I think Devontae has really progressed well. You're looking, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, I think you're looking at a kid that as a team, we threw for less than 500 yards last year. Right now, he's over 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards passing, and I think he's over 600 yards rushing. So that progression and being a leader and being the quarterback figure is that leader on offense, and for him to do that, he's made some really good decisions with the ball. He's made some really good checks at the line based on what he sees, and he has that freedom. That's the trust that we have in him.
You have talked about several times to your players and have mentioned on this show about at some point in the year, we're going to have to make a play. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. And tonight looks like one of those games where, hey, if you lose, you're out. So we got to make those big plays tonight.
Yeah. You know, we've really had the luxury of winning big throughout the second half of the season, and adversity hasn't hit us. And you can practice a lot of things. You can practice special teams. You can practice offense, defense. You can practice 2-minute offense. You can't simulate adversity. You can't tell the guys, okay, you're down 2 scores, you got to go score. In a practice setting, you know, there's other ways to kind of put them under different stresses, but to try and simulate that is almost impossible. So for us how we answer to adversity is going to say a lot about us, and that's something that has been talked about probably at every halftime and every post game over the past 7 weeks is we've got to be ready to deal with adversity, because when we get to the playoffs, we're going to see some really good teams, and in order for us to succeed and get as far as we want to get, we've got to push through and we've got to overcome adversity.
I'm sure it was personally special to you to, again, go to Montgomery last Saturday and sit in with all those coaches and talk about the playoffs and what is expected. And this has been a 4-year ride for you as head coach and athletic director at BB Comer, where it's progression every year.
Yeah, it's kind of a, you know, you come in with a big picture of things, and you know, when I came in year one and met with those kids.
Let's face it, it wasn't a pretty picture at that time.
No, and it wasn't. You know, when they came into the auditorium and just looking at body language, it wasn't good. You know, so to be able to progress like we have and to have the success that we've had, and it's full circle too. It's happening in all sports. If you look at last year, girls win the area in basketball, make the playoffs in football. Boys make the playoffs. Baseball is 1 game away from making the playoffs. And then you come into this year, our girls volleyball program had the best team in the history of the program. Came up a little short at regionals, but you know, the total body of work and seeing those kids go from 0 confidence to confidence and believing in what they're doing is huge, and that's, you know, that's the secret of it all. Is you know, I tell people all the time, I tell the kids all the time, I'll never play a play, I'll never play a snap here. So it's up to you guys to do all that, and for the kids to have the faith in us and trust in us and to believe in what we're doing and then go perform it. It says a lot about the kids. It says a lot about their confidence in what we're doing as a coaching staff, and the belief that they have in us.
7 o'clock kick tonight, Legion Stadium. BB Comer hosting GW Long, first round of the 2A football playoffs. And for BB Comer to be successful, it's a must that you run the football.
Yeah, we've got to have a good running game, and we have a good plan. Going into the game, I feel like our offensive coaches and offensive coordinator Coach Pike has done a good job developing a game plan. And when you coach, for me, I'm pretty hands off. I let my coaches coach, but I'm always dropping tidbits in his ear. And you know, I tell my coaches all the time, the most important tool you can bring to practice is a pen. So. He's actually stolen about 3 pens from me during practice to write these tidbits down. But hey, you know, if I kind of throw some stuff in there, but the game plan's good. He's got a great game plan. Defensively, we got a great game plan, and it's up to execution at this point.
And you've been able to run the football. You've got an outstanding tailback, and you've been able to balance things, and you're going to need that tonight.
Yeah. We've got Kamor's got 1,460 yards, I believe, and 22 touchdowns. He's a force to be reckoned with when he runs hard. We've got a 1-2 punch because we've got Daylion Welch who can come in and get some reps as well. And Day is actually healthy. He's been nursing a little ankle injury, and this week he's ran really well, and he says that ankle's 100%. So looking forward to seeing those guys run, and looking forward to seeing our guys up front take care of business. And they're the unsung heroes, man. They do a lot of work. They carry a lot of load, and let those guys run between the tackles, and between the 5 linemen and our 2 sniffers who rotate in, Adam Odom and Drew Hallman. They rotate in and out, and we like our chances of running the ball. And
defensively, it starts with your linebackers. You got 2 veterans right there.
Yeah, it's going to be key to get us lined up. John does a good job of getting us lined up every time, and we've got to get to the ball, and we got to make sure we made the right checks and the right calls, and get 11 hats to the ball. That's kind of been the message all week in practice is get to the ball. Get to the ball. We're gonna have to wrap up and contain. Can't let their tailback get to the edge, because if he gets to the edge and gets down the sideline, he's gonna be gone.
Before we go this morning, we wouldn't have talked about this time last year, but our kicking game at B.B. Comer has grown by leaps and bounds, and it could come down to a field goal, or it could come down to an extra point tonight. Feel a whole lot better this year than you did last year with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've got, I think Noah's kicked like 30 extra points this year. He's made 3 out of 4 field goals, and just to have the confidence to have a kicking game and know that we can go out and in most situations, I feel confident that we can make a field goal from 40 in, and that's another weapon that we have, and something that we can use. So extra points are key too. It's a lot easier to score and send a field goal extra point unit on the field and kick an extra point. So and that takes a little pressure off of us offensively to have to come up with 2-point plays. And then if you don't get the first one, you almost have to get the second one, and so it's on my card I have a go for 2 chart that says if you're up by whatever or down by whatever, it tells me it's a cheat sheet on whether to go for 2 or kick the extra point. But Noah's done a good job, and he's an added weapon for us, and we've got a lot of weapons across the board offensively that we can utilize, and hopefully we utilize all of them tonight.
And finally, tickets available for tonight's game. You get those through where?
Tickets are through GoFan, so it's all through the state now. The state handles all the playoff tickets, and
so there are no tickets available at the gate, or is that right?
Well, so we have the scan and go, which is set up through the state. So you will actually, we found this out yesterday, I believe it was, that we can do the scan and go. But there's no cash, so you can use a debit card or credit card. Somebody will be set up at the main gate to set that up, but they can sell tickets right there at the gate for you to get in. We don't set ticket prices. I think tickets are $10, and then GoFan has like I think it's $1 or $1.50 fee. But that, again, we don't set any of those prices, and in regular season games, Talladega County schools, if you're a Talladega County employee, you get in with your badge. Unfortunately, we can't do that either because it is a state playoff game. So everybody will have to buy a ticket, and we hope that we have a big crowd and a loud crowd. And a couple of my guys made a video the other day about the fans coming in.
Yeah.
So they enjoyed that. A little fun for them. But we posted that thing everywhere, and like 3 hours after it was put on YouTube, it had 250 views. So that's, a a lot of people are seeing it. Hopefully we have a big crowd and a lot of noise.
All right, B.B. Comer hosting GW Long, 7 o'clock kick at Legion Stadium here in Sylacauga. Let's get this W tonight and move to the second round, Coach. See you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer High School. B.B. Comer hosting GW Long tonight at Legion Stadium. More daybreak right after this.